Hello everyone, this is Vinay here from Learn Coding with Vinay, and this is video number 5 of our video series where we are going over two most important concepts of SQL, and those are store procedures and join. In the previous video, we looked into the logical delete, and I also said that now going forward we'll be moving to complex store procedure that involves join. However, there are two store procedure examples that I wanted to give before that, those which are commonly used in any application, and those are very common in the e-commerce domain as well. Right, so let's go over them now. The first one is, get record by ID. Right, so basically if there is an update screen, if there is a detail screen, then what we will be doing, we will be selecting one record, and on the detail screen that record details would have been displayed. Right, so we need a single record from the table. Right, so let me give example of that. Let's say there is an edit screen for customer. Right, so basically there is a screen where there is a screen where there is a list of customer, and from there, user can click on any one of the customer and they can, be landed on detail page. And let me make this. Okay, so this is good. Let me run this. Okay, right, so let's say there is a screen that displays all these customer, right, and we want to, and user want to edit it. So what they will be doing, they will be selecting one of these. Right, now whenever there is a, such kind of requirement, then there has to be a store procedure that says that retrieves the record based on the ID column. Right, because ID will be always be unique for each record. Right, so ideally this should be something like this. Let's say 2, then it will get only one record. Let's say 10, we don't have anything. Good, let's say 3. Right, so we should have a store procedure that brings data for particular one guy only. Right, so one record only. Right, so what do we need to do? create create procedure. Let me give dbo that usp. I will say get customer by id, and the naming convention you will have to follow according to your project. Right, currently we are using e-commerce, so I am saying get customer by id. It can be anything. Right, if you talk about product, when you practice the product for similar recipe, you can say get product by id. Right, then we will have to have one input parameter that will be id, and again id should match with the id's data type should match with the table, so ideally it should be integer. Right, and we have not specified the length, otherwise length should also match. Right, then what we'll be doing, begin and end, and in that we'll put down this query. And instead of this id view 3, we will say id. Let me execute this. Right, so store procedure got created successfully. Let me run this, if this works fine. Right, great, it is working. Let me try one more example. Right, so this is working now. So getting single record by id. Right, so this is a very common example. And when we talk about crud, crud, create, read, update and delete, r actually means two things. First is get all, and second is get by id. So basically this is getting all record, and this is getting single record. Right, right. Okay, now another example I wanted to show you is the, let me just copy paste this. Let it be, we'll just change this. I want to say get customer address basically. Right, we want all customer address. Now this can be a scenario where, there is a help desk guy. Let me just correct this first. Yeah, there's a help desk guy who wants to, not help desk guy, I would say there is a guy working in the, warehouse, or working with the delivery company, who delivers the final package to the customer. Right, so on a day to day basis they will need the customer addresses. Right, so we need to bring out all, either all customers, or customers based on certain date range, or customer based on some sort of order numbers. right? Because they want to print that address in some sort of stickers, right? And then stick that stickers to the package, right? And ultimately, the delivery guy will pick it up, use that address and deliver it to the customer, right? So what we need to do over here is we need to get all customers addresses, just the addresses, but it should include name, email and the entire address also, right? So what do we need to do then? This is the same thing we will be doing, right? I'll just remove this. We don't need to have where condition as of now, right? And we don't have any parameter over here as of now, right? So if I go ahead and run this, it got executed, right? Now we have the required field over here, right? Name, email, mobile and address. Now this can also be used by calling program. Then calling program can print this name in the first line, in the second line it can have address, in the third line email and mobile number, right? So basically the delivery person who can coordinate using this number and email that, okay, he is coming by this and this time, will you be at home or something like that, then only it will be delivered, package will be delivered, right? Now this is also good enough, but I want to make it more useful. So how to do that? So let me tell you, we will be using the string concatenation example in SQL, and by which we will be bringing the address, and so that it looks like a real address, and for them it is easier to print and cut it down in individual stickers, right? So let me go ahead and execute this. Okay, sorry, we'll have to mark this as alter. Okay, now let me go ahead and run this. So now you see this, right? So this is basically a username, customer's name, address, email and the mobile number, right? But it is not, it is in one line only. Ideally it should be one after another, right? Something like this, it should be something like this, right? But since we are into the grid view, we won't be able to see that difference. We have appended every column with character 13 and character 10. I think 13 is the enter and 10 is the space, right? So let me go ahead and move to this text mode, right? This is a grid layout, result to grid, and this is result to text. Now let me go ahead and run this. See this now. We have Amit Sharma, Delhi, India, Amit's email and then the mobile number, right? Now we have the similar things for all of the addresses. If you want to make it more meaningful and individual, we want to separate individual customers detail, then we can just put down one dummy column over here, right? I'll say just comma. No, it is not comma, actually it is continuous only, right? But we will have to add this over here, right? And what I'll be doing, I'll be executing this. Okay, what's the problem? Mobile is customer details. Okay, no, this has to go over here, right? So it ran successfully. Let's execute it and see. Right, now you see the output. Now these are individual stickers, right? Now someone can from the delivery guy or help desk guy print this sticker in one goes and cut it from here and stick it on packet, and the delivery guy can use it to deliver the package. So this is a very common example of e-commerce that I wanted to show before we move to the complex store procedure, right? So from next probably we'll plan to have a complex store procedure that involves join. I hope you like this example, and that's it in this video. We'll see you in the next video. Thanks a lot, guys.